concept of currency has been around for thousands of years, and it is difficult to pinpoint a single, first, currency. However, some of the earliest known forms of currency were commodity-based, such as shells, beads, and livestock, which were used for trade and exchange in various ancient civilizations. One of the earliest standardized forms of currency was metal coins, which emerged around the 6th or 7th century BCE. The Lydians, an ancient civilization in what is now modern-day Turkey, are often credited with minting the first coins. These coins were made of electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver, and had stamped designs to denote their value. Throughout history, several wars and conflicts have influenced the way we use currency. Here are a few notable examples. The Opium Wars, 1839 to 1860. These wars, fought between China and Western powers, particularly Britain, had a significant impact on currency. To fund their opium trade with China, the British East India Company started issuing its own currency, known as the British Indian Rupee, which became the dominant currency in the region and remained in circulation until the 20th century. World War I, 1914 to 1918. The economic strain caused by World War I led many countries to abandon the gold standard, which tied their currencies to a fixed amount of gold. Countries resorted to printing more paper money to finance the war efforts, leading to inflation and changes in the value and perception of currency. World War II, 1939 to 1945. The aftermath of World War II saw significant changes in currency systems. The Bretton Woods Conference in 1944 established the US dollar as the global reserve currency, backed by gold, and created the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and World Bank to stabilize international financial systems. Regarding the influence of coins and paper money, both have played crucial roles in the development of currency. Metal coins provided a portable and standardized medium of exchange, allowing for easier trade and commerce. They were widely used for centuries and represented a tangible store of value. The introduction of paper money, often in the form of banknotes, brought greater convenience and flexibility to the monetary system. Paper money originated in China during the Tang Dynasty, 7th century CE, and later spread to other regions. Banknotes gradually gained acceptance due to their convenience, lightweight nature, and ability to represent larger denominations of value. Ultimately, the influence of coins and paper money depends on the historical context and region. Coins played a significant role in the development of early economies, while paper money revolutionized the way we carry out transactions and facilitated the growth of modern financial systems. Both forms of currency have shaped our current monetary systems and continue to coexist in various forms across the world. In the 6th and 7th centuries, the introduction of metal coins as a standardized currency had a profound impact on societies. It brought about several changes in people's lives, economies, and political landscapes. Here are some effects of the new currency and the role of wars in influencing these developments. Economic transformation. The adoption of metal coins revolutionized economic activities. Prior to their introduction, barter systems and non-standardized forms of exchange prevailed, which often led to difficulties in evaluating the value of goods and services. With metal coins, people had a universally accepted medium of exchange, facilitating trade and commerce across regions. This enabled specialization, as individuals could now engage in specific crafts or occupations, knowing they could exchange their products for coins. This shift towards a more market-based economy spurred economic growth and prosperity. Standardization and trust. Coins provided a standardized unit of value, making transactions more predictable and reliable. This standardization increased trust among individuals engaging in trade, as they could be confident in the value of the coins they received. It also reduced the reliance on subjective assessments of the worth of different goods and fostered greater transparency in pricing. Political power and control. The introduction of coins brought new opportunities for political entities to exert control over economies. Rulers and governments minted coins with their own symbols, which helped consolidate their authority and project their power. Coins served as a means of disseminating propaganda and reinforcing political legitimacy. They became a visible representation of the state's control over economic affairs and its ability to maintain a stable currency. Wars played a significant role in changing the agenda surrounding currency during this period. Here's how: financing wars. Wars were costly endeavors, requiring substantial resources to sustain military campaigns. Rulers and governments often manipulated currency systems to fund their war efforts. They debased coins by reducing the precious metal content or issuing new coins with lower intrinsic value, effectively creating inflation. This allowed them to increase the money supply and generate additional revenue to finance their military endeavors. Emergence of new monetary authorities. Wars sometimes led to the emergence of new monetary authorities or shifted the balance of power between existing ones. Conquering rulers often sought to replace the existing currency with their own, thereby asserting their control over the economy and erasing symbols of the previous regime. This change in currency could have profound effects on the economic and social structures of conquered regions. Economic disruption. Wars, especially prolonged conflicts, disrupt economic activities and trade. People's access to goods, including coins, can be severely limited during wartime. Scarce resources and unstable political conditions can lead to hoarding, hyperinflation, and black market activities. The uncertainty and chaos caused by wars can undermine the stability and integrity of currency systems, forcing people to find alternative means of exchange or resort to barter. When individuals or companies possess significant financial resources, their influence can extend beyond their immediate sphere of influence. Their wealth and expertise can shape discussions and decision-making processes regarding the future of currency. Here's how their involvement can impact governments' deliberations on currency changes. Expertise and insights. Individuals or companies with substantial financial resources often have access to extensive research, market analysis, and economic expertise. They can provide valuable insights to governments regarding emerging trends, technological advancements, and potential risks or benefits associated with currency changes. Their knowledge and understanding of financial markets can inform policymakers, helping them make well-informed decisions. Lobbying and advocacy. Wealthy individuals or companies may engage in lobbying or advocacy efforts to promote specific currency changes. They can use their financial resources to influence public opinion, fund research, or support think tanks or organizations advocating for specific monetary policies. Their ability to fund campaigns, initiatives, or educational programs can shape the public discourse and create momentum for currency changes aligned with their interests. Economic investments and demonstrations. In some cases, wealthy individuals or companies may invest in specific currency-related projects to demonstrate their viability and benefits. For example, they may support the development of new technologies, digital payment systems, or alternative currencies. By showcasing successful implementations, they can highlight the potential advantages of adopting new currencies or financial systems to governments, businesses, and the public. Philanthropic initiatives. Wealthy individuals or companies may engage in philanthropic activities aimed at promoting financial inclusion, economic development, or stability. They can fund research or pilot projects related to currency changes that prioritize equitable access to financial services, reducing economic disparities, or addressing specific economic challenges. Their philanthropic endeavors can influence governments by highlighting the potential positive impacts of currency changes on society. It is important to note that while the involvement of wealthy individuals or companies can bring expertise, resources, and insights to discussions on currency changes, it is essential to maintain transparency, ethical practices, and consider broader societal interests. Governments need to balance the input from various stakeholders, including experts, citizens, and businesses, to ensure fair and inclusive decision-making processes. Ultimately, governments have the responsibility to make decisions that serve the best interests of their citizens and the overall economy. While the perspectives and financial resources of wealthy individuals or companies can be valuable, it is crucial for governments to carefully assess and scrutinize the information provided, consider potential conflicts of interest, and ensure that decisions prioritize long-term economic stability, inclusivity, and the well-being of society.